Welcome back to the home of pro clubs. You guys loved the last tips video so much, I thought about doing a part 2, and here it is. More specifically, this is tips for playing with lots of players, 11 versus 11. You can play 11 versus 11 pro clubs by picking 11 players and matching up against another 11 players. Okay, of course, you can also sign up for websites like the VFL, VPG, both links below, and play in leagues to battle it out with your friends and see who is the best. Our VPG Horizon live streams will be returning next week, so make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell if you want to see 11 versus 11 pro clubs at its highest standard in the Premier League. So these tips will be most useful to you if you're playing 11 versus 11, but they're also going to help you out if you're playing divisions or regular pro clubs. If you check out last week's tips for a more basic understanding, if you're really struggling and you're absolutely awful at FIFA 20 clubs, the tips video on screen in the top right hand corner or the description will help you out. But we're on to part 2 of our series, so be careful when you're playing 11 versus 11 with your first time passes. You want to make sure you play nice and composed, and you can see a lot of balls down the channels to the two strikers. We're playing a 4-1-2-1-2 here in a practice session that we played the other night, and those highlights on screen are all going to be just that. You can see the composure on the ball from everyone except me there, clearly. Keeping the ball, trying not to lose it, and making sure that there's always an option on. Keep it nice and simple, guys. You can see this football here. Nobody's looking for a crazy through ball. Nobody's trying to be a hero. Just keep possession. Allow the team you're playing against to make a mistake. Cam here picking up the ball. You want to be using a Cam in this formation as much as you can. Everything should go through the middle of him, and you can use the width to bring it back in. Now you can see I pick up the ball here, play the ball into the Cam. He plays it into Ego. Ego's shot just goes past the front post. If he's higher level, that might test the keeper or go in. Now attack positioning and sweating the ball are going to be key when you're playing 11 versus 11 pro clubs. Again, another ball down that line, and I'm going to play it just across. Important that you notice little things in this video, like the way HBK, my striking partner, is positioned there to make sure he's onside and give me an option. A little tip for you goalkeepers, do that. He's done very well there. He's closed off the angle and he's made it pretty much impossible for the striker to score. Now, we are a team that likes to press nice and high, and you can see that here as we're getting some luck. Pressing high is going to take a lot of practice and not something that's going to come to you quickly, especially if you're a new team. We try to keep teams pinned in their own third, and it usually results in us gaining back possession, especially against the less experienced teams. You can see we press nice and high. We do make a mistake here with the pass. Probably should have kept it short, but the point of that clip was to show you how the high press works, and throughout this video, you're going to see clips just like there. High press again, strikers coming back. Important to notice there as well, and the ball was on my side of the pitch, on the left-hand side. I drop, HBK stays up in striker, looks so he can get a ball. If we turn over possession, exactly what just happened can happen. He's there, ready for a through ball to break up the pitch, and he does very well to ball roll the keeper nice and simply. Now, this is a pretty obvious clip. You can see how the defenders stay in line. As a back four, you make sure you stay in line all the time, or it's going to catch you out. Again, you're going to see highlights here of a high press that leads to a goal. Even the fullbacks, guys, they're staying tight to their men, and when the ball comes into them, they are going to just fly up, win possession back. And you can see here some nice L1 dribbling that we spoke about in last week's episode of the tips. Gets me the ball with the sweat, and then I use the L1R1 driven shot to put it away. Off the ball positioning is very important and is what basically led to us scoring that goal. The fullbacks pushing up nice and high. Everybody else trying to stay relatively close to their positions where they're meant to be, but occupying spaces and passing lanes where they think people are going to play the ball. A lot of this gameplay you're seeing on screen right now is very, very patient. Nobody's really trying risky passes, and we're unlucky there to not get a penalty, in my opinion, and get a third goal. As you start to get a little bit better at the game and you've played it more, you want to make sure you're looking for reverse balls. You're going to be seeing an example of a reverse ball coming up right now. Everybody, by the way, giving options to each other, but as I play the ball into my midfielder here, he plays it through to HBK, our striker, who plays it back to him. Now he's going to shoot. No, reverse ball. Goalkeeper's absolutely lost, and that is absolutely fantastic from Johnny P. A rare moment of brilliance from the midfielder with the little L1 triangle dink right in front of the goal, and it just eliminates the possibility that the ball's going to get blocked by playing that little reverse ball. A reverse ball is when you receive the ball from, like, say, the right-hand side, like he did there, and you play it back the way it came. I touched on this a little earlier, but for you newer players, make sure you give each other options in 11 versus 11. You can see here I pick up the ball, and I've got the Cam inside. I could have probably gone to HBK, could have gone back to the DM. Always try and make yourself available. Get in front of the man who's trying to mark you, and it will give you the best options to keep the ball it really does help. And you can see we win our first game of 11 versus 11 this FIFA. Some of the teams we play on this session aren't the best, so don't think by any means that I'm coming at you saying that we're absolutely insane at the game. We're not. We're good players, and we know we can be insane. We just got to practice a lot more. Just hoping this video gives you guys, some of you newer 11 versus 11 teams, or just Pro Clubs players, some insight into how better players might play this game and tear you apart. You can see I've got the ball on the edge of the box, easy pass into the cam. He plays a nice ball out, another sweat, and my guy manages to skim it off his head. But the principles are all there, right? Maybe if I'm 90 rated, my guy scores that header, I'm still about 86, 87 right now. So it's a little bit annoying to miss those chances. Again, here you're going to see an example of some nice high press from the team, and the CDM ends up winning the ball back. That basically came from this man on the ball right now, pressing high, causing the error, and a nice through ball again to the striker. He plays it back into the striker's feet, and he's just going to go back to the cam, play it nice and slow. And we don't get anything from this clip, but the principle, again, the same. Nice and slow, work those channels, try and sort of simulate those runs. If you can copy them, try your best to do so. A little tip for you guys as well, if you are playing badly, and you know you are, just chill and try and do the basics right. Sometimes when I'm having an absolutely shocking game, I'll make sure that I go back to the basics and I'll just try and keep the ball. If you keep the ball for 3 or 4 phases that you've had it, it will start to build some confidence in your play. Make sure at half time you have a little look at your ball lost possession stat or whatever it is, and you can see if you're losing the ball too much, try to bring that down. You don't want to be losing the ball 10 plus times in a game of 11 versus 11 clubs. So you can see we've always got options again here. Nothing comes from it, but there's so many options to play the ball to. So this clip right here is a great example of everything that I've kind of spoke about. They've got the ball in their third. We're kind of pressing them high, trying to win the ball back. You can see the fullback there doesn't want to make too much of a risk to overlap and get caught out, but he does put that pressure on, and we end up winning the ball back through the CDM. I play it through here, and instead of shooting, lovely pass back. It should have been a penalty anyway, but it wasn't given, to the centre mid, and he's got a tap in. You know, a lot of strikers would probably think, especially if you're new to the game, to shoot that chance there when you get that ball, but it's such a hard angle. You're better off just laying it back to your centre mid, and he's got a tap in. Good positioning from the centre mid there to be aware that that could happen as well. Now moving on into our last game from the session, this team had 3 players missing, so it's not really a fair reflection to say this particular game is 11 versus 11, but it gives us even more of a chance at practicing keeping the ball when they are missing players. And spoiler alert, we end up absolutely pumping this team senseless and they quit. But there are still highlights and lessons to be learned from this game. You can see that they start off with possession, playing nice through balls. Defence stays disciplined, wins the ball back, and we go again. Goalkeeper, instead of hoofing it out, does very well just to pass it out, and we keep possession. Me and Ego working down that left-hand side, and as I kind of found myself out of position there, I pull myself back into the middle of the pitch, making sure that I'm relatively close to where I need to be. You don't want to be standing out on the wing in striker the whole time, because then you can't receive the ball in areas like this where I am now, and I can just play that nice through ball. He doesn't get the ball roll this time. The keeper actually does well to read it, but the drop is unlucky and it falls back to us, and you can put that down to good positioning or just a little bit of luck, whatever you want. I don't really care. This clip again, you can see a nice bit of patient build-up play. Go back to the centre-backs. Get them involved. Everybody needs to be comfortable on the ball. You cannot be a centre-back in a decent 11-man team that can't receive possession and play it out. And again, we play that little reverse ball just down the line, back where it came from. And the defenders put about 3 of them there, and it's still not enough to stop that little sweat from going in. They kick off again, a nice high press from HBK and myself up there. We win the ball back. We go again. I've drifted over a little bit. Maybe shouldn't be there, but, you know, it is what it is. HBK moves into a nice position to get a goal. Now, a little tip for you goalkeepers. You can see how he comes out there and claims it. I haven't seen too many goals go in from corners this FIFA. It's really, really rare. So I think goalkeepers commanding a box, if you can get confident and good at that, it's going to make a big difference. And you can see just from that alone, we end up scoring a nice, easy goal. Another sweat. Another chance where maybe the centre mid could have shot. He doesn't. He picks out the other centre mid, and it's a nice and easy goal for us once again. Cam staying nice and patient on the ball. I play it out to the centre mid, who you can see tends to pull out into more of a left mid role when we do have the ball, and then when we're defending, stays nice and compact and drops in to help out the DM in this formation. Little tip for you guys, if you are in that RCM or LCM position in a 4-1-2-1-2, you want to add width. You don't want the strikers to be pulling out to the wing, because then you've got no options inside. You kind of want the cam and 2 strikers to stay pretty central, and the centre mids to give you that little bit of width, with occasionally the fullbacks popping up as well. If this video, guys, has helped you, I really, really hope you do feel like you can drop a like on it, and hopefully we can do a part 3 in the future, guys. Make sure you check out part 1 as well, because there's loads more tips that you, if you are new to pro clubs, will want to pick up on. That video will be linked at the end of this, and of course, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. As always, your support on this channel has been ridiculous, and I hope you check out those links to VFL and VPG and get yourself involved in some 11 versus 11 pro clubs. There's truly nothing like it on FIFA, and I'm looking forward to the competitive season starting soon. I'll see you next time.